Namaste. You are listening to Manav Parichay, Introduction to Humanity. In the last episode, we saw the dagger of retribution fail. Today, the criminal Nasir is presented in court again. But Nasir's misfortune has brought him back to the very court where the judge is Firdausa's husband, Harishchandra Ji. The criminal's delusion. Nasir feels that the attack on Firdaus was a duty towards his faith, and that she had no right to marry a kafir. He is now planning a pseudo-marriage, disguising himself as Yogesh to take revenge. The judge's dilemma. Harishchandra Ji is sad. He thinks of handing over this case to another judge because it is no longer just law versus crime, but has become community versus community, man versus woman, and above all, humanity versus brutality. But Firdaus cannot bear to see her husband sad. She places Harishchandra Ji's hand on her leaping womb and returns his smile of love. Firdaus, with her experience and logic, explains to Harishchandra, "The supremacy of justice, the justice you deliver on this, will prove to be the most superior on the scales of justice." Why? Because Harishchandra views evil and the individual separately. You will hear Judge Harishchandra's true philosophy of justice. He explains, the purpose of punishment is that the criminal's tendency towards crime should change. Nasir has such a thick blindfold over his eyes that he cannot even see what is best for his own family. Harishchandra Ji openly praises his wife. "You have become such an inspiration for me," which is why it is said that behind every successful man, there is definitely a woman. Finally, what did the doe-eyed Firdaus say to her husband? How did she describe the experience of her meaningless life becoming meaningful? And how did the help she received from that unknown elderly person in Harishchandra's love make Firdaus's life complete? Listen to this complete saga of logic, love, justice, and devotion in the final episode of Manav Parichay. You will hear Episode 7, The Judge's Dilemma and the Completeness of Love. Nasir's 15-day parole release, granted to meet his ailing Abu and for his treatment, automatically ended in 4 days due to his arrest for the attack he carried out on Firdaus. One wonders from what perspective a criminal views his every action, that he sees no mistake of his own. It is from such a strange angle that Nasir is also viewing the attack he carried out on Firdaus. He views the attack on Firdaus as his duty towards his faith. He thinks that if he marries a kafir girl, it is his right, but Firdaus has no right to marry a kafir and be the mother of his child. Since Firdaus did both these things, the attack carried out by him with the intention of murdering the fetus in her womb is absolutely correct. He is saddened by two things concerning his rearrest. Firstly, that his intention could not be fulfilled due to the arrival of Nargis and her party. Secondly, his duty of caring for his sick Abu remained incomplete due to his arrest. Upon being sent back to jail, Nasir was extremely angry as well as disappointed for these very reasons. Now he is thinking that he has failed in his unholy intentions for now. He will definitely take revenge after completing his sentence and being released. Then he will marry a kafir girl. He started thinking that if he has to portray himself as a kafir for this, he will do so by adopting a pseudo name, Yogesh. A few days later, Nasir was produced by the police in court for the crime of attacking Firdaus. Coincidentally, on the same day, after Firdaus's mental and physical condition had stabilized, Harishchandra Ji returned from his leave. Nasir felt like crying over his misfortune seeing that his case was also scheduled in the court of Harishchandra Ji. Harishchandra Ji had already ruled against Nasir in the previous case of triple talaq. And now Harishchandra is also Firdaus's husband. Nasir was disappointed that the judge would now deal with him harshly. The judge, after hearing the presented charge sheet, gave the next date 3 weeks later. After returning from court that night, Harishchandra Ji was quieter than usual, and contrary to his nature, seemed lost in thought. Firdaus recognized the reason for this. In the morning, Firdaus had checked online on the portal and seen that the case regarding Nasir's attack on her was scheduled before Harishchandra Ji. Firdaus thought that Harishchandra Ji must have found it unpleasant to see Nasir in front of him again. Then Firdaus thought of a way to improve her husband's mental state. Firdaus went and stood in front of Harishchandra Ji. Firdaus took his hand and placed it on her stomach and said, "Ji, look, your baby has become even more lively than you. How much jumping and stirring it is doing, right in the womb."
Harishchandra Ji then said with a laugh, "Firdaus, this one is taking after you."
Firdaus only wanted to see this laughter from Harishchandra ji. Now she came to the main topic. She asked, "You look a little troubled today. Did something special happen in court?"
Harishchandra replied, "Something did happen, but I don't want to tell you."
Firdaus showed a little emotion and said, "No, you must tell me. I want to know."
Then Harishchandra told her, "The hearing of the case regarding the attack on you is scheduled before me. I am thinking of expressing my unwillingness and having it transferred to another judge's court."
Firdaus asked, "Why do you want that?"
Harishchandra said, "This case is directly related to me, and also, since Nasir called me kafir, it has become one community versus another community."
Firdaus said, "Yes, you are right. These people like Nasir themselves marry girls of any community, but cannot tolerate even their own discarded wife marrying into another community. They become bent on bloodshed. Since the case is like this, it has also become man versus woman."
Harishchandra said, "I am also viewing it from one more perspective."
Firdaus asked, "What is that?"
Harishchandra replied, "Brutality is currently riding high on him. He attempted to murder an innocent fetus, which, the unborn child, has done him no harm. Who is completely innocent? From this perspective, the case has become humanity versus brutality. The judgment on this case has awakened curiosity in two communities. Due to all these factors, I, as a Metropolitan Sessions judge, do not consider myself suitable to preside over this case, so I want to avoid hearing it."
Firdaus said, "Whatever your preference may be, but based on my experience with you, I can say that the justice you deliver on this will prove to be the most superior on the scales of justice."
Harishchandra ji asked, "Why do you have such confidence in me?"
Firdaus said, "That day I, in anger, was saying that calling him, Nasir, a human was an insult to humanity, whereas you were comparatively calm. I have never seen you angry. You have a marvelous insight to see all sides, which is expected of a superior judge. You view the person and the evil as two separate things. Because of this, the justice you deliver in any case is complete."
Harishchandra ji looked at Firdaus with a look of astonishment mixed with appreciation and then said, "Sometimes I feel that what I do not know about myself, you are aware of."
Firdaus blushed at this compliment. She lowered her eyelids. Harishchandra then transformed from a judge to a husband. He kissed Firdaus's lowered eyelids one by one. Then, protecting her enlarged belly, Firdaus embraced her husband. They enjoyed the pleasure of the embrace for a few minutes. Then Harishchandra continued the conversation, saying,
"Firdaus, this country is our own. In such a case, as its citizens, it is not a good thing for us to complicate social problems due to agitation. I am not just a citizen but a person holding a position of responsibility. I have to act considering all sides and circumstances. The goal of true justice is not merely to punish, but the purpose of punishment is that the criminal's tendency towards crime should change."
Firdaus was listening to her husband's words as if spellbound.
Seeing this, Harishchandra enthusiastically continued, "You have seen, Nasir has such a thick blindfold of fundamentalism, ideology, over his eyes that he cannot see how he should behave and what actions he should take, not only for the benefit of society but even for the benefit of his own family. He made a big mistake by divorcing an intelligent, advocate wife like you. A greater mistake he is making is by not attempting to understand life in the solitude of imprisonment."
Saying this, Harishchandra ji fell silent, lost in thought. He seemed somewhat sad. Firdaus was bothered by her good husband's sadness. Harishchandra himself broke the silence that had fallen between the two.
He said, "You see, Nasir wasted the parole he received to care for his sick father, on venomous, hateful thinking directed at our innocent child. The constitutional spirit of punishing the criminal remains incomplete because there is no change in his tendency. You, Nasir's discarded wife, have become such an inspiration for me, which is why it is said that, behind every successful man, there is definitely a woman."
Hearing her husband's open praise, Firdaus became emotional. Remembering something, her eyes became moist. Then she composed herself and said, "The elderly person who possessed such human kindness met me on the day, at the moment, when I felt, today I am going to die prematurely. He was the one who safely took me from that frightening, desolate place to my Abba's house. Then, with such true human kindness, one day you came into my life. Because of this, I feel that I am that woman, discarded by one, whose life is becoming meaningful with a truly human person like you." Saying this, the doe-eyed Firdaus became emotional. Her eyes were moist with tears. Seeing this, Harishchandra's heart filled with affection. He kissed his wife's eyes in such a way that his lips absorbed the moisture. Then Firdausi's sweet voice was heard in his ears. You see, if I had stayed with my Nasir, this same Firdaus would have been making her life meaningless. Then I would have been unable to even understand that my life was being wasted. Behind me now is you, the man, because of whose presence my, woman's, life is becoming meaningful. Now listen to the review, critique, and guidance written by Gemini on this episode of Manav Parichay. Subtitle: The Judge's Dilemma and the Completeness of Love. This episode is the emotional and philosophical climax of the story. The central conflict lies in Harishchandra's ethical dilemma, whether to recuse himself from the case due to personal involvement, a dilemma that Firdaus helps him resolve through logic and love. 1. The power of love and reason. Firdaus's response to Harishchandra's conflict is the emotional core of the episode. By placing his hand on her pregnant belly, she redirects his focus from the external, hateful conflict, Nasir, to the internal, joyful reality, their unborn child. This act of love is what restores Harishchandra's smile and equilibrium. Her defense of his judicial capacity is the philosophical peak. You view the person and the evil as two separate things, making his justice most superior. 2. Judicial philosophy, humanity versus brutality. Harishchandra's analysis of the case transcends simple legal terms, elevating it to humanity versus brutality, showing his deep understanding of social dynamics. His view that the purpose of punishment is to change the criminal's tendency towards crime is a profound statement on restorative justice. He correctly identifies Nasir's greater mistake, wasting the isolation of prison and parole on hateful thoughts, showing how fanaticism blinds him to his own family's welfare. 3. The meaningful life. The episode concludes with Firdaus's reflection on her life's journey, from a wasted existence with Nasir to a meaningful one with Harishchandra. Her recollection of the elderly man who helped her during her deepest distress reinforces the theme that true Manav Parichay, human kindness, is not bound by religion or community, but by compassion. Her final words emphasize the true partnership in their marriage. His presence makes her life meaningful, inverting the traditional male-centric notion of success. The image of Harishchandra kissing the moisture from her eyes is a powerful symbol of their deep, mutually affirming love, which has triumphed over hatred and societal pressure. This episode successfully ties together the threads of the story, confirming the couple's bond and setting the stage for a final, ethical judicial resolution that will define their commitment to justice and humanity. The storytelling is emotionally resonant and philosophically rich, offering a compelling conclusion to Firdaus's transformation. Episode 7 ends.